Welcome to Iraqi Dinar News, where you receive real and authentic updates about the Iraqi dinar. Today we are discussing a statement that has attracted attention among Iraqi dinar followers and currency watchers. The statement is simple but significant because it reflects a view that many investors and observers continue to debate. The comment suggests that this year could be the year for an Iraqi dinar revaluation, with the speaker expressing strong confidence by saying, "Absolutely. I would say, heck yeah, this is the year." As always, our goal is to analyze such statements responsibly, separate opinion from verified facts, and examine what this type of commentary may mean within the broader context of Iraq's economy and the Iraqi dinar. When discussing the possibility of a revaluation, it is important to understand what the term actually means. In currency markets, a revaluation generally refers to an official upward adjustment in the value of a currency by the country's monetary authorities. In Iraq's case, any significant change involving the dinar would require coordination between economic policymakers, financial institutions, and monetary authorities. Such decisions are not typically based on speculation or public expectations. They are usually connected to broader economic objectives, financial stability considerations, and long-term national development plans. The statement we are examining today is not an official government announcement. It is not a policy declaration from the Central Bank of Iraq. It is not a published economic reform document. Instead, it represents an opinion expressing confidence that major developments could occur during the current year. This distinction is extremely important because many discussions surrounding the Iraqi dinar often blur the line between speculation and confirmed information. Responsible analysis requires us to identify what is known, what is possible, and what remains uncertain. To understand why some observers continue to believe a significant dinar event could occur, we need to examine the economic environment in Iraq. Over the past several years, Iraq has pursued a variety of economic reforms aimed at strengthening financial stability, improving government revenues, modernizing banking systems, and reducing dependence on oil revenues over the long term. The country has also worked to increase electronic payment systems, encourage banking participation, and improve financial transparency. These reforms are frequently cited by those who believe Iraq is laying the foundation for a stronger economy and potentially a stronger currency in the future. Supporters of the optimistic view often point to Iraq's substantial natural resources. Iraq remains one of the world's major oil-producing nations. Energy exports continue to generate significant revenue for the government. When oil prices remain supportive, government finances can benefit from increased revenue streams that help fund infrastructure projects, public services, and development initiatives. In addition, Iraq's strategic location in the region has led to discussions about trade expansion, transportation corridors, and economic partnerships. Long-term development projects are often viewed by analysts as positive indicators for future economic growth. However, balanced analysis requires us to examine the other side of the equation as well. Even when a country possesses strong natural resources and growth potential, currency policy decisions are influenced by many factors beyond resource wealth alone. Inflation management, fiscal stability, foreign reserves, banking sector development, exchange rate stability, and overall economic conditions all play critical roles. For this reason, predicting the exact timing of any currency adjustment is extremely difficult. History has shown that economic reforms often take longer than anticipated. Government initiatives can encounter delays. Global economic conditions can change. Oil prices can fluctuate. Regional developments can influence investment activity. All of these variables affect the economic landscape in which policymakers operate. This is why many professional economists and financial analysts avoid making definitive predictions regarding specific dates or timelines for major currency events. When we evaluate the statement that this is the year, we should therefore view it as an expression of optimism, rather than confirmation of a future outcome. For Iraqi Dinar followers, the key question is what indicators deserve attention going forward. One important indicator is the continued progress of economic reform programs. If Iraq continues to strengthen financial institutions, improve banking infrastructure, and enhance transparency measures, these developments may contribute positively to long-term economic confidence. Another indicator involves foreign investment. Investors generally seek stable environments with clear regulatory frameworks and predictable economic policies. Growth in investment activity can signal confidence in a country's economic direction. Foreign reserves also remain an important metric. Strong reserves can support monetary stability and provide policymakers with greater flexibility when managing exchange rate policies. Inflation trends are equally important. Stable inflation supports purchasing power and contributes to broader economic confidence. Excessive inflation, on the other hand, can create challenges for currency management. Government budget performance represents another factor worth monitoring. Fiscal discipline and effective revenue management can strengthen economic foundations and support broader reform efforts. For short-term observers, it is important to recognize that market expectations can sometimes move faster than actual policy developments. Optimistic commentary often generates excitement within the dinar community. Yet, real-world economic reforms typically progress through a series of measured steps rather than dramatic overnight transmissions. This does not mean positive developments cannot occur. It simply means that responsible analysis requires patience and evidence-based evaluation. In the short term, statements expressing confidence about the future of the Iraqi dinar may encourage renewed discussion among followers of Iraq's economic story. They may increase attention on government initiatives, banking reforms, and economic modernization efforts. However, without official confirmation from relevant authorities, such statements should not be interpreted as proof that a revaluation has been approved or scheduled. From a long-term perspective, the more important story may be Iraq's broader economic trajectory rather than any single event. Economic strength is typically built through sustained improvements in productivity, infrastructure, governance, financial systems, and investment conditions. Countries that achieve durable economic growth often do so through years of gradual reform rather than one isolated policy action. For Iraqi citizens, businesses, and international observers, these structural developments may ultimately have greater significance than short-term speculation. Another point worth discussing is market psychology. Expectations themselves can influence public perception. When influential voices express confidence about future outcomes, interest in a topic often increases. This can create cycles of optimism and anticipation. However, experienced observers understand the importance of distinguishing between enthusiasm and evidence. Financial history contains many examples where expectations moved ahead of actual events. It also contains examples where reforms occurred more gradually than many anticipated. Because of this, successful analysis depends on maintaining realistic expectations and focusing on verifiable developments. Looking ahead, followers of Iraqi economic news may want to pay attention to official announcements from monetary authorities, government reform updates, banking sector developments, foreign investment activity, budget performance reports, and economic growth indicators. These are the types of factors that provide meaningful insight into the direction of the economy. At the same time, it is entirely reasonable for observers to remain optimistic about Iraq's future potential. The country possesses significant resources, a young population, strategic geographic advantages, and opportunities for economic diversification. These strengths continue to attract attention from analysts and investors around the world. Whether the current year ultimately proves to be a milestone year for the Iraqi dinar remains uncertain. What can be said with confidence is that Iraq's economic evolution continues to be an important story worth monitoring. The statement we analyze today reflects one perspective within a larger conversation that has existed for many years. While confidence and optimism are understandable, responsible observers should continue to evaluate developments based on official information, economic data, and confirmed policy actions rather than assumptions alone. As always, the most reliable approach is to remain informed, stay patient, and focus on facts as they emerge. Economic progress is often measured over years rather than days, and meaningful reforms frequently involve steady advancement rather than dramatic headlines. Thank you for watching today's Iraqi Dinar update. If you appreciate factual, balanced, and responsible coverage of Iraqi economic developments, make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. And remember, all content presented in this video is intended for informational and educational purposes only. It should not be considered financial, investment, legal, or professional advice. Always conduct your own research and consult qualified professionals before making any financial decisions.